welcome back to Endnotes, the supplemental bi-weekly video series from the Erie Reader, courtesy of Menagerie Studio, coming at you mostly live from this beautiful desk and this gorgeous new studio setup. So, it's December. We're here now. We really are. Alright, Thursday, the final day of November, we'll see Gannon's premiere of Henrik Ibsen's A Doll's House, which will run at the Schuster Theater Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 8 p.m. until December the 9th. And Friday and Saturday at Junior's Last Laugh Comedy Club, you can enjoy some of the very best standing-up comedy you can possibly stand, available courtesy of one Mr. Jimmy Pardo. The host of the Never Not Funny podcast will be doing shows at 6:45 and 9:30 post-meridian time, that's p.m. for all of you. And December 1st is also gallery night. There will be tons and tons of things to check out at the following galleries and venues, so get a pen and write this down right now. There's 419 Artifacts, Allen Stoneware, Attic Rehab, Bargains by the Bay. You got Black Eagle Goods, Brouhaha, Collab Shop, DeHopkins Dennison Gallery Fine Art. You got the newly opened Ember and Forge, Erie Arts and Culture, the Erie Art Museum, of course, Erie Clay Space, First Presbyterian Church of the Covenant. You also have Lake Life, the John M. Lilly Library Gallery at Penn State Behrend, and Point 4 Vintage Boutique, Presque Isle Gallery and Gifts, Gannon Schuster Gallery, and the grand opening of Steele's Trading Post. Bloom Collaborative will be over at Traditions Unlimited. And lastly, and not leastly, the V Gallery. There will be refreshments, live music, and chances to meet and talk with the artists involved, sprinkled out through all those various locations. For more information, go to erieartmuseum.org. And depending on when you're watching this, tomorrow, the Erie Playhouse will kick off their production of Annie starting on Friday, December 1st and running until New Year's Eve, which happens to fall on December 31st this year. So check that out for a full array of show times. Tickets online and information, go to erieplayhouse.org. The Psychedelic Garage Rockers, Erie's own Wave Trails, will be at Jekyll and Hyde's, along with the Pittsburgh Doom Band Myers. So get ready for a loud, excellent time over there, starting at 9 p.m. The Performing Arts Collective Alliance, better known simply as PACA, will present their production of Another Very Good Christmas, featuring an evening of adult comedies and by the writer Jeff Good. That's with an E, as the show implies. Shows will be 8 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays until December 9th. Go to PACA1505.com for more information. And the Mercyhurst Dance Department will present the Nutcracker with two shows each day, Friday and Saturday. That's the 1st and the 2nd. This is not to be confused with the Lake Erie Ballet / Erie Philharmonic's production, which will take place December 16th and 17th. All these nutcrackers, they're driving me crazy, simply. On Friday, Jim Cotter will be kicking it at the King's Rook Club one last time before the trio embarks on a new musical path down in sunny Los Angeles. So be sure to get your tickets for that Ithaca trio at eventbrite.com ahead of time, because they will sell out. That's Mr. James Cotta. California Death Core Quintet Suicide Silence will headline that night at Basement Transmissions for their 10-year anniversary tour with Upon a Burning Body, Prison, Amavasya, Livid Life, and Shiver down on the undercard over there at BT. Then on Saturday, we'll bring you Home for the Holidays with the Erie Philharmonic, but more on that a little later. Why don't we? The Mercyhurst Department of Music will have a jazz ensemble concert at the Taylor Little Theater, and Asbury Woods will host their Schoolyard Craft Fair, which will run both Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. So there's plenty going on all weekend. So, and with that, you got Hard Luck Story and 40 Rust at Scotty's Martini Lounge from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And also on Saturday night, Jamestown, New York funk mainstays Smack Dab will be at the King's Rook Club for the band's final show, capping off a 16-year history right here in Erie. Paolello and Gone will be at Calamari's to finish up the weekend, playing a couple sets from 7 to 10 p.m. And also, just in time for the holidays, Black Eagle Goods and Point 4 Vintage Boutique will present another installment of their wonderful punk rock flea markets. And that's at Basement Transmissions once again, starting at noon on Sunday. And if you want to stay over for Basement Transmissions, you can check out the California post-hardcore band Dayseeker the next day. And, for 3 in a row, Florida's Phantoms, New Jersey's Born Anew, and Erie's Raven's Law of Shadows and Obelisk will entertain metal fans all the livelong night, featuring a CD release from Raven's Law, so pick that one up. And, okay, on a slightly less heavy note, it is my pleasure to welcome our guest for the day today, Executive Director of the Erie Philharmonic, Steve Weiser. Thank you very much, Steve.
Good to see you.
So, okay, as we had mentioned, the event Home for the Holidays.
Right.
Let's start with that. Can you tell us a little bit about what's in store for that? Will it be a holiday event filled with cheer and
definitely
whatnot?
So for us, the one thing we always have to find is what's the coolest way to sort of keep a concert that we do every year. How do we keep it current? How do we keep it updated? And how do we not let it get stale? Mm-hmm. And I think we have a really good mix this year. We have a fabulous soloist, Daniel Cabanillas, is going to come back.
Oh, excellent.
He sang a couple years with us, did Oh Holy Night, and ended with an instant standing ovation. So he's back as a special guest. We have some other really fun selections. We have a new Erie Phil chorus director, so the Erie Phil chorus is working with us. We have a vocal jazz group from General McLean High School.
Excellent.
So that's, again, a whole other different aspect of the concert with a bunch of, probably about 20 jazz singers on stage doing some other different arrangements. And then for me, my favorite piece and probably the whole thing, there's a sing-along, there's all the opening stuff, whatever. We're playing music from Elf.
Oh, excellent.
And nothing is cooler than just being able to, exactly,
yeah.
being able to advertise a little bit of that with just Will Ferrell yelling Santa. So we have a whole, like a mini version of the soundtrack from Elf will kind of be one of the centerpieces of the concert. So it's a way to keep it current, lighthearted, and definitely fun.
To combine vocal arrangements and all that stuff with like the more traditional Phil ensemble. That's fantastic.
Definitely, it's always a good time. We have 2 shows on Saturday. We have an evening one at 8, and then a matinee show at 2:30. And we actually open up the 2:30 show at 1 o'clock. With for kids activities.
Oh, perfect.
So if you show up at 1 o'clock, the door's open. We're going to have an instrumental petting zoo from the Junior Phil. The Lake Erie Ballet is going to have a ballet bar where you can sort of, I guess, learn how to be a Nutcracker dancer for a little bit.
Okay, interesting.
And then all I know is that the Experienced Children's Museum is going to be doing something with dry ice and bubbles.
Right,
and I'm like, all right, I'm sold.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Whatever they're doing will work. Exactly.
Good place to take some photos and stuff.
It'll be fun.
So now I've noticed this come up, and I've never actually been to one. But can you describe for me what an instrumental petting zoo is?
So it's not, there are no goats.
No goats?
No goats, unfortunately. But anyone that shows up can pretty much, I know, the goat thing's a big miss. But
help me out.
Anyone that shows up, you can play a trombone, a violin, a cello. All the musicians actually bring instruments that you can physically touch and hold.
Cool.
So we see kids from 5 years old up to big kids and like 60-year-old people that get a chance to pick up a flute or actually play a cello for the first time in their lives. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah, will you have musicians on hand to be like, here's how you do your embouchure or whatever?
Right. So, and actually, this is a great thing we do with the Junior Phil. So the Junior Phil kids are there kind of. So you have maybe a kid in 12th grade working with a 5-year-old and sort of showing him how to play a trumpet or how to hold a violin the right way. So it's pretty cool.
That is excellent. And you yourself are a musician, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was a percussionist, so I had the chance to play percussion 3 years with the Phil.
Oh, that's
before
excellent.
I became executive director. So every once in a while, when we have outreach, I get roped into bringing some drums out and taking them to a preschool, which is fun.
That's fantastic. So you've been with the Phil since 2015?
2015, exactly.
And how have you seen, well, the Erie Phil is such, it's just a mainstay of Erie. It's been around 100 years.
But this is our 104th season, exactly.
Yeah, that's remarkable. And so to keep, but it's still an organization that is like kind of on the forefront of like Erie's culture. And how do you kind of keep up with like the changing times, having such a traditional establishment, but to still keep people involved and excited about it?
I think the first thing we had to come to terms with is, okay, we're old. We had a big celebration for the 100th anniversary.
Right.
I was a musician. I played all those concerts. But after that, like, you can't celebrate a 101st birthday. Like, nobody cares anymore. It's like, all right, you're old, we get it.
There's like 96 years until the next really big one.
So we really wanted to find some new ways. Like, we simply broke it down to like the three main parts of our mission statement, which are entertain, enrich, and educate.
Okay.
And we wanted to actually just get back to doing those things really well. So we do the entertain thing well with concerts. We've started doing movie shows. This year we're doing Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yes.
We educate with our youth concerts, but we wanted to enrich more. And this is where our long-term residencies come in, the instrumental petting zoos, donating pianos, all of those things that last longer than just a normal concert. When we donate a piano to a kid, that piano is going to stay in their household for the next 15 to 20 years.
Right.
So,
and kind of, like I said, enrich the children's lives with music and everything like that. And also, could you speak briefly about the upcoming Nutcracker partnership with the Lake Erie Ballet?
So it was one thing that was important for us to bring back into the fold was to have the Nutcracker become something that the Philharmonic was a part of. It used to happen back with the Phil back in the 70s and 80s, and we wanted to find a good way to bring the two groups officially back together. So we're sort of taking the lead this year in the Philharmonic. You can get the tickets through the Phil, which is sort of a new thing this year. But it's a good thing to sort of dual present with the Lake Erie Ballet to kind of show Erie, I think, where the Nutcracker lives. It lives at the Warner Theater. That tradition has been there for 59 years, and hopefully it'll be another 59 more years of doing just sort of what is the quintessential holiday thing. And I love that it's the last thing you do before Christmas. It's that last weekend, 16th and 17th. Right after that is the Christmas week, Christmas Eve, and again,
then you're all just firing on all cylinders.
Exactly. So it's good that we're sort of the last thing that happens right before the holidays.
And it is also nice because Christmas, and especially like with the Nutcracker specifically, it's almost like an opportunity like for the a musical layman or like especially like someone who's not as familiar with ballet, to be involved in something they're kind of familiar with and kind of dip their toe in.
Everyone knows songs from the Nutcracker. Even if you don't know that you know them, when you go see the Nutcracker, you will know 90% of the songs that you hear. From TV commercials, movies, you will literally recognize almost every second of music. And it's all played by the Erie Phil and led by music director Daniel Meyer. So it's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. And I think the best thing you can do is just, go see an Erie Phil production. Steve, thank you so much for being our guest here.
Anytime.
And check out the Erie Reader for more information on the piano donation program. Definitely. There's going to be a lot about that. And thank you just for tuning in, for viewing us. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. And if you have an event that you want featured on here, don't forget to go to eriereader.com and go to the calendar and click Submit Your Event to the Erie Reader. And I might even talk about it, and we might even write about it. And it will be fantastic, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Nick.
Have a great day. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.